This week, we're taking the ultimate expedition camper to Austin, Texas for 5 wild days of dry camping at the Formula One US Grand Prix. Join us for an unforgettable adventure soaking up all the trackside action and living off-grid in the Storyteller Overland GXV Hilt at Circuit of the Americas. Kate and I hit the road just as the sun was setting, ready to make the 1,000-mile-plus drive from Indiana to Texas for the Formula One US Grand Prix at the Circuit of the Americas. For long drives like this, we always appreciate the larger fuel tanks that let us cover more ground between stops, helping us keep the miles rolling. After witnessing 2 beautiful sunsets and making a quick stop at a truck wash in Arkansas, we finally arrived in Texas for the final stretch of our drive. Since we're in the state where Buc-ee's originated, we had to stop at our favorite road trip gas station, often called a convenience store on steroids, with its endless snack aisles and a gift shop that could rival a small department store.
We are in Texas, haven't been to a Buc-ee's here in a very long time. Excited to be back and on our way to Formula One in Austin.
We topped off on DEF and diesel at the pump before hitting the road for one last stop to stock up on groceries and essential supplies for race weekend. Although we can drive in and out of the Lot N camping area, we'd prefer to stay put once we're settled at our camping spot.
After reading all the recommendations about Lot N camping at COTA, we picked up some levelers just in case we need them. And I got an umbrella. It's supposed to be very hot on race day, and everyone says an umbrella can help with the sun. So I'm set. Joe didn't want an umbrella, so I'll be using it on my own.
Because I know this question will come up, this does have Liquid Springs. Liquid Springs has an earth leveling system where you push a button and it levels the camper. However, this is a prototype and it doesn't have that feature on it, hence the levelers we bought. Guided by the beautiful moon, we took the road into Lot N camping area, arriving just after 8 p.m. The check-in staff were incredibly welcoming, getting us checked in quickly and on our way to find a dry camping spot.
It's a very good thing we got these. These sites are quite off level. Haven't used these since our Class A days.
So we're going for a walk around the track. This is all the camping behind us, kind of the calm before the storm, but it's pretty awesome. There's the giant flag. After exploring the section of track near our campsite, we headed back to the Hilt to unwind and savor the cool, quiet evening at the campground. Well, I'm glad we got here early. We got a spot right up front. The entrance to the track is just over yonder. So after Kate and I's little walk around today, we are tuckered out. So I think we're going to call it a night. Now it is Wednesday. So there is a whole weekend full of activities and things going on. Tomorrow's the pit walk. But we just got general admission passes. We didn't know what to expect for our F1 race. So we're just gonna walk around, see what general admission gets us, and see what we can see. We're very excited for this weekend. There's a Porsche Cup race, there's a Masters race, there's an F1 sprint race, along with the F1 Grand Prix. So it's not gonna be a sprint, it's gonna be a marathon. So we're flipping the camper around because we're so off level. When we were sleeping last night, it wasn't all that comfortable. So we're flipping around because we sleep in the cab over, and if we are low in the back, our heads will be elevated rather than being down, which is more comfortable. Okay, I think we've got it down. So what we did was we came in because the site is like this. Our front end is over here. So back end is a little low, but again, that means our head in the bed is up and elevated, which is nice. I was thinking we should get a flag that says 3 cappuccino espressos for F1 drivers, and then Leclerc and all the European guys can come over and grab a coffee.
I'm so excited. Apparently, since we checked in early to camping, We got to walk back out and go get our welcome packets and all the goodies that are in it. But if you can't tell, it is like generator city out here. Most people are running generators since there are very limited electrical hookup sites. But camping pass was $875 for 4 nights at USGP at Coda. And so with taxes, that comes out to about just $200 a night for dry camping. This is the most expensive campsite we've ever paid for. So excited to take full advantage of everything this has to offer.
Speaking of taking advantage of amenities, there was no shortage of porta potties, and they were surprisingly clean compared to those we've seen at other festivals and events. On our walk towards the entrance, we scoped out some track view spots to keep in mind for future visits. These spots would offer a nice view from the rooftop deck of the camper. And in case you hadn't noticed, Kate made full use of her umbrella throughout the day.
Smells like we got a candle. Happy hour drink tickets, I think.
Oh yeah. We noticed some interesting leveling techniques around camp, which made us especially grateful to have one of the more level spots near the track. RV services at Lot N included access to flushing restrooms and showers for an additional $30 for the weekend, along with pump out and water fill services priced at $65 and $55 respectively. Thankfully, we did not need any of those services, as we arrived with plenty of water and power to stay off grid for the entire time we were camping. Speaking of power, Kate used the microwave to heat up some leftovers for lunch while we watched everyone roll into camp. We are on this epic walk to try and find Will Call. Everyone gives us a different direction and a different location. We almost ended up in the paddock, but got turned around, unfortunately, because we don't have any credentials. But eventually we are going to find it and get our tickets. We still haven't found our tickets, but we did find pit lane. One of these days we'll get our tickets. Apparently you can get in here without them. We found it, the Grand Plaza.
2 hours later.
Now we have to find Will Call.
Got our wristbands, general mission for race weekend. And luckily they let us pick up our friends so they don't have to do this 2-hour trek to Will Call.
Despite all the runarounds and 20 different directions from 20 different people, we had a good time trying to get over here. So we just got back to camp and our neighbor walked over and said, "Hey, do you guys want to go for a paddock walk? I have extra passes." And we said, "Of course we do." So thank you to our neighbors, and they're going to drive us right over to where we were earlier and got turned around, and hopefully go for a walk through the paddock.
You know when you're on a hike and you get trail magic? I feel like I just got F1 magic.
The 60-minute paddock walk gave us access to pit lane, where we could check out each team's garage and all the activity inside. One of the highlights was watching the Kick Sauber pit crew practice their tire changes, which was fascinating to see up close, and it was surprisingly loud. It was easy to spot the more popular teams by the size of the crowd outside of their garages, and we happened to pass the Alpine garage during their team photo shoot. Needless to say, we had an amazing time and are incredibly grateful to our neighbors for inviting us on this special experience, giving us an up-close look at the Formula One pit lane. I am wiped out.
It's only Thursday.
Yeah, we did 15,000 steps today. It was a long day. I'm ready for a meal, a drink,
Relax.
just relax. We didn't even feel like cooking tonight. All we had were snacks. We had like rice crackers with peanut butter, some grapes, some bananas, and that was really it.
plane.
I think we're just gonna call it a night and really hit it hard this weekend.
As the evening wore on, our buddy showed up to tent camp in our spot. While I stayed behind to watch him set up his tent, Kate walked over to the Lot End gathering place to check out the evening activities, which included an outdoor movie, wood fires for roasting marshmallows, freshly popped movie-style popcorn with all kinds of flavor toppings, a bracelet station, and a paint-your-own racer station. As you can see, Kate took full advantage of the activities.
You're catching me before coffee, so here's what's going on today. A lot of practices. There is the Formula One Sprint Quali today. So I think we're going to try to go to a couple of these. I'm not going to try to go to everything, but I do want to get into the track, kind of get a feel for it, where things are, where we can walk around and see and stuff like that, because Saturday and Sunday are going to be very busy with the sprint, the race, and everything else going on.
Time to get Joe caffeinated. Then we can officially start our first day at the USGP.
Coffee. Okay, I'm gonna go outside and enjoy the generator symphony.
I'm so happy that we don't need a generator.
You and me both.
Based on how we both felt last night at the end of the day and not wanting to cook or do anything when we got back to camp, I'm taking advantage of my morning energy and I'm doing the cooking today, this morning, so we can just heat this up throughout the day as we get hungry and come back to camp. So I'm just making a very easy and simple sausage fried rice for the day. And for breakfast, we're gonna have rice crackers with peanut butter. It's just so simple and easy. And I do like the new addition they made with the drawer here.
With the track entrance less than a 5-minute walk from our camp spot, we couldn't imagine having to drive to the track every day, look for parking, and then fight the crowds and traffic as everyone leaves. Oh look, someone's getting pumped out already. Thanks to all the portable toilets and our camper's cassette toilet, we don't have to worry about paying the $65 pump out fee. Apparently, that tram goes around the whole track, but we never had a reason to take it since we could walk right in at the Turn 3 entrance and grab a spot in the general admission viewing area to watch all the action. Between the support races and the F1 race over the weekend, there were also activities happening throughout the track. After getting a better feel for the track and the concession prices, we made our way back to the camper to unwind before the next activity on our schedule.
It is that time, Friday night camper happy hour. Oh, Sting is performing tonight.
As we made the trek out to La Cantina, Kate and I got to check out some more interesting camper setups at Lot N. The camper happy hour included drink tickets and a nacho bar with all the fixins'. As the evening wound down, folks started making their way out to the amphitheater for the concert. Since we didn't feel like crossing the track and battling the crowds, we ended up staying by the happy hour spot to enjoy the music. On our way back to camp, we stopped by the Cowboy Rick station to write a note to Danny Ricardo.
Good morning. Well, it is Saturday, and Kate actually took off early. She left around 8 while I was still in bed to go to the McLaren Lego thing that they're doing over there. There are long lines, and I'm not a big fan of waiting in lines, so she decided to go do that while I hang out in the camper, drink my coffee, and relax. The sprint race is at 1 p.m. today, so we have some time to go do some other things. So I decided to walk into the track and see what Kate had been up to, and this is it.
After waiting in line for 30 minutes, Kate got to build her own McLaren Lego car. Being a Lego fan myself, I thought that was a pretty cool experience.
Who's excited about her Lego?
Me. And now you take it apart and have Joe put it together.
There were plenty of races happening all day, including the first race of the Porsche Carrera Cup North America. The morning schedule was also packed with all the driver engagements, which kicked off with Ferrari. We didn't stay long, as we were both more interested in the action on track, which included 2 Masters races going on throughout the weekend. As promised, Kate took the Lego apart and had me put it back together while she made us a beef and green beans stir fry for lunch. And thanks to our neighbors, we had radios for the sprint race so we could hear the live broadcast and follow everything going on around the track. These radios were a game changer, and we can't imagine going to another race without them. We found a great spot to watch the sprint race between turns 12 and 15, where we got to see most of the passes on track and one of the Kick Sauber cars getting towed back to the garage.
It's time for a sundowner after an awesome day of sprint race and quali for the race. So, cheers.
Our Saturday evening ended with a concert by Eminem. Apparently, folks were lined up for over 8 hours waiting to get inside the amphitheater. We were happy to watch from the bleachers on the other side of the track. Once we got back to camp, we were treated to an unexpected drone show from Williams Racing.
Good morning. It is Sunday. It's early. We've decided to get up, try to head into the track once the gates open, and stake out a spot for the race. From what people have said, it gets absolutely crazy in there because obviously everyone shows up for the main event, and we'd like to get at least a good spot so we can see the race. Now let's talk about the Hilt for a moment. We've been dry camping here since Wednesday evening. We got on the road Monday evening. Every night we've showered. We've been cooking, doing dishes in here and everything else. And so far, with the 120 gallons of fresh water that I filled up when we left, we have over 70% left. I think we're at, I want to say 57 or 60% gray. And in terms of battery power, we have over a third left. So this has 16.8 kilowatts of battery, 1300 watts of solar on the roof, and that has sustained us for almost a week. And it's been really good. If we needed to, we could high idle, but we haven't had to. We've been running the AC, we've got the lights on, we've got our To The Hilt sign on, and we've been running the inverter, charging devices, and all of that stuff. So This has been a great camper for the dry camping that we're doing and being at the race. So thank you to Storyteller for letting us borrow this for the event, because it has made all the difference. We've been able to shut the windows at night, run the AC or the fans, and kind of drown out that generator noise all around us. So it's been much easier to sleep in this than it would have been if we brought our camper. Well, I'm going to finish my coffee and then we're going to head into the track. Now, when we've gone the other days, we've popped out to grab more water, snacks, and things. I don't know if that's going to be possible today with the amount of people that are supposed to be here. So we're just going to take everything we need, go in there, grab our chairs, and try to stake out a spot. So wish us luck. I'm hopeful.
We thought getting in line at 7:30 a.m. was early, but some of these folks had been in line since 6 a.m. Luckily, we were able to get our spot back between turns 12 and 15 to watch the race.
Ooh. That was fun. It was an awesome race. I'm sorry what happened to Norris with the penalty, but hey, it is what it is. Leclerc took it with Sainz coming in second, Verstappen in third. Great race, but it is hot and we've got to pack up now, so I'm going to put the AC on. I'm glad we still have battery left, so let's see here. AC on. Feels so nice.
I thoroughly enjoyed the camping experience at this Formula One race, but it is our first Formula One race and hopefully we'll get to go to more. But if you're ever considering camping at Circuit of the Americas, I would highly recommend it. It is just way too convenient to come back, take a break, and get right back to the track. But now it is time to pack up. We're going to try to get out of here and put some miles on the road. So fingers crossed, traffic is not too bad. Cold water for the road.
That's it for our time in the Hilt at the F1 race. It's been an amazing time. This is an amazing machine, but now it's got to go back to HQ for its next adventure, and we're headed home for ours. So stay tuned for what's to come, and we will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, tell us who your favorite driver is, and if you watch F1. If you've ever been to a race, we'd love to know what other tracks we should check out around the world, because we have our eye on a few. Spa is one of those. But that's it. We'll see ya. Bye. This video is sponsored by Storyteller Overland.